guys, Coach Ben here, bigbenchas.com, and today we are going to cover why your bench press keeps falling apart when you lift heavy weights. So before you look at this board and you're like, hey Coach Ben, I know all of this, I'm good to go, thanks for the video, make sure you watch to the end so I can actually explain what each of these means. So step one, all right, smaller warm-up jumps, okay? Sounds simple. This is how you put it into practice and why it's gonna help you out. Especially as it pertains to the bench press, smaller jumps are gonna help you a ton. All right, I could give you anecdotal evidence from so many of my athletes where smaller jumps were actually the real key in helping them hit that big heavy weight that they've been trying to hit and failing to hit. And all they had to do was really condense their jumps down. Whereas you think you're going to fatigue out and you're gonna burn out and you're not gonna hit your top set because of those small jumps, it's quite the opposite with bench. Trust me, try it out. And I think you'll like what you find. Smaller jumps, king of the castle when it comes to slaying that heavy attempt. So if you're taking those 5, 10, 15 pound jumps and expecting that payoff to be there, nah, it's not gonna work. So make sure to take those smaller jumps, trust me. Next, train heavier more frequently. This seems simple as well too, but you'll be surprised, a lot of lifters, they don't actually go for a big heavy attempt to push themselves on bench until the end of an entire training cycle. And that could be 12, 16 weeks before you're actually given that exertion out. With bench press, you can train heavy much more often. As much as once a week, you can really push yourself on the bench press. So if you're not training to that capability and that's your weak point, you find that you're great with all the rep work, you're great handling sets of 8 and 10, but you suck when it comes to that 1 rep max and you can't get over the hump on a certain weight. Hit that certain weight more often. It's not gonna be a recovery issue, all right? It's probably at that point a mindset barrier that you need to break through, but train yourself heavy, work through it. Next, top sets, back down sets. This is a great strategy for your bench days. You're not just gonna work up to just one top set of bench. All right, that's not something that I recommend. You need to get quite a bit of bench work in if you actually wanna see your bench get better. So how to do that and how to actually structure your volume for a day, it's probably gonna be best set up if you really push yourself to a top set effort and then you do back down sets. That being, you mentally can get very focused and take those small jumps up to this really heavy exertion type of load. And then you can do back down sets because to try to hit that weight again, your form's probably gonna get sloppy. You are gonna fatigue at a certain point. Back down sets allows you to accumulate quality volume, good crisp reps, allows you to practice your technique much better than the half-fast. I shouldn't say half-assed effort because it's gonna be maximal effort, but it's gonna become poor quality because of the fatigue. So top sets, back down sets. If you're not utilizing this strategy, go ahead, utilize that. For overload, all right? Overload, slingshot, boards, reverse bands, all great ways to get more weight in your hand, but do it full range. All right, that's why I like the slingshot. I like reverse bands even more so than boards because you can work through a full range of motion, and that does so much even just mentally for you to take that weight that you can never slay and where your bench always falls apart at, and you take it full range and you're like, I got this. All right, you start to believe in yourself. I always mention when I was pushing to that 820 pound multiply bench, that's my best bench in competition. I always told myself I'm a 900 pound bencher. So when I was working through the 700s, and when I'm doing volume with 700 something pounds, yeah, it's heavy. But if I tricked my mind to believe I'm a 900 pound bencher, then it's not that bad, okay? It's just sub-max weight. Although it be heavy, how you trick your mind makes a big difference. And lastly, more bench days. Another real simple one, but more bench days is gonna allow you to have more room to manipulate what you're doing on those days. So then if you have one bench day, well, instead of doing everything in that one bench day, now you separate it out to 2 bench days. You can have your rep work on one day, lighter work, and then you can have that heavier intensity. Then you can bench heavier more often and do so successfully, have more exposures on the bench. I always like increasing that frequency of the bench days. If you find you're coming into bench and you're not accumulating fatigue, and you don't feel sore, you don't feel burnt out, or like you can't keep up with the weights as normal, you could probably afford to add more benching into your program and strategies. All right, and that's where I find a lot of lifters on average typically live, to where they can actually do more benching than they are currently. So there's some great strategies. If you're finding your bench falls apart at heavy intensities, check this out, start utilizing it, put it into practice, and thank you for those of you who actually stayed to the end of the video. Appreciate you. Coach Ben here, and you know where to find me. You can meet me on a bench. Thanks for watching. If you could use some help with your powerlifting form, or you want a proven strength program that you know you're going to see results with, make sure give our Strength Blueprint membership a click. Check it out. I'll see you on the inside.